What's up, lifelong learners? It's your boy, Mr. Hang, and today this is what we are learning: Introduction to Premiere Pro Workspace and editing color and graphics and captions. Why are we learning it? To be able to know and understand what each workspace is used for when editing audio video. How do we know we learned it? When students submit the link to their exported video for teacher to review. So you're gonna have some stuff you're gonna show me to show me that you've learned. Now, I'm going to skip the review part. If you are absent, make sure you download these practice files right here. Three videos and one song. And then for this one, you're going to put it in your Premiere Pro folder. And then here is the Premiere Pro Workspace tutorial that I'm creating right now. All right. So this is an updated version. All right. So learning how workspaces work in Premiere Pro. So I'm going to go back and remind you that you created a previous assignment. Make sure you watch this one right here, Premiere Pro Editing Basics. You have to watch that video first before you can do this video. My daughter did my nails, by the way. Um, so first, we're gonna go back and remember to, when you launch Premiere Pro, you're gonna have your previous projects right here, Premiere Pro Editing Basics. You can click on that and it'll launch wherever you left off from the last class. Now, let me show you another way of how to get here. I can close this project and I can go to my folder where I saved my Premiere Pro project, which was Photo Video 1, 2, Premiere Pro, and then here's the Premiere Pro Editing Basics assignment that you did from the last class. Remember, you need this. So you can double click on this and it does the same thing. Oh, double click, come on, double click. There you go. Now it's going to open here, which I don't know why it's not opening there. That makes no sense. So anyways, if you double click on this file right here, it should open your Premiere Pro Editing Basics, which is that right here. I don't know why mine's not opening, but it should open. Anyways, we're going on to the next. Oh, there it goes. Finally, it finally opened up. It took a while, but it finally opened up. All right, so we're good. I opened up my previous project, and the other third way is to go to File, go to New. I'm sorry, go to File, go to Open Recent, and then here it is, Premiere Pro Editing Basics. That's the third way of opening this project. Anyways, it's open. Next thing is I'm going to show you today's lesson, which is the Learning Workspace and the Editing Workspace. So when you go to Premiere Pro, you're going to click on Workspace, which is up here, and then you have your learning workspace. And the learning workspace will have, if you're logged into your account, it'll show you all this tutorials right here that you can learn from, and you can search the tutorial to learn from. Click on workspace again, and then you have the editing workspace. Click on this editing workspace, and then you have this workspace which we were working in last time, the editing workspace. And then you can go to Windows, Workspace, and go to editing, and it gets you the same way, or go to learning. You can switch workspaces that way as well. And then you can, let's go back to the color workspace, because that's what I want to show you today, is the color workspace. So here we are learning the color workspace, and it's basically, it looks like Lightroom. So if you go to Premiere Pro and then you click on Basics right here, okay, you'll open up the color workspace, which turns your video more blue or turns your video more orange. I'll double click to reset. Turns your video more green or turns your video to more magenta. I'll double click to reset. If you do the saturation all the way down, it goes to black and white. If you do your saturation all the way up, it looks really, really saturated and the colors really pop. But to be able to do that, you have to click on the clip, okay? When you click on the clip and you roll your timeline over the clip, then you can adjust these individually like that. Okay, so I'll do Command Z, or I can just double click on here, double click on here to undo. Now what I want you to do is pick one clip to make it extra dark. So exposure, I'll bring the exposure down like this. I'll bring the highlights down like that. I'll bring the shadows down like this. All right, so it's like really underexposed. That was the bell to start school. And then I'll go to another clip. All right, I'll go to another clip and make sure I click on that clip, and then I'll be able to adjust the exposure to make it super bright like this. Okay, so you just have to make one photo really white, like bright white, and then the other photo is like dark. So I want one video to be overexposed and one video to be underexposed when you play. All right, So normally you would use this to adjust to make sure the colors and the colors are white to be true white. So if I were correcting this for real, like I would be correcting this to make sure that this looks a little orange. So I'm going to bring it towards the blue a little bit to make the white look true white and the blacks look true black. So this looks good enough for me because there's not a lot of green and not a lot of magenta. So I'm not going to mess with the green and magenta. So I'm happy with it. And then the saturation is fine for me, so I'm not going to touch that either. Now this looks perfectly exposed already, so I'm not going to be able to adjust the exposure to make it look any better than this. But maybe bring the highlight down a little bit right there. Bring that highlight down, but that might mess up my highlight. So I'm happy with the way it looks. Or maybe I just want to just see more details right here, so I'll bring the shadows up like that. Okay, and then I'll bring the blacks down like this to make sure I have my contrastiness. All right, it's up to you. Adjust it to the way you want to look at it. All right, whatever you feel looks right for what you shot and the way you want to present your image. So again, one overexposed just to show me you know how to get here and fix your or mess with your video, and one underexposed. Now, moving on. The next part is to do the graphics workspace. It's just like Photoshop. So I'm going to go to Premiere Pro, go to the workspace, and then I'm going to go to the graphics and captions workspace. Click on that. This is where you can add your titles and stuff like that. Like my template here, I'll just look titles, type in titles. That's not what I want. Option X. What I want here is to look for titles. Heck, why am I typing commands? Why am I? There you go, titles. Okay. And then I can look over here and I can see this title right here. This is the basic film present title. Click and drag it and put it on top of your video like this. All right. And this is just like Photoshop where I can zoom in and zoom out, plus sign, minus sign. Okay. And then I can come over here and I can see the title on top of my video. Okay. Where it says present right there. I can double click on this title and I can go to present and I can type in something else. Okay. And I can adjust yours is going to pop up on the side over here. I don't know why mine's floating, but yours is going to pop up on the side, like right here. Okay. Like right here on this side. So I can adjust the word present to Mr. Hang Camera. All right. Can't spell camera. Why can't I spell camera? Oh my goodness. There you go. Mr. Hang's camera. Okay. So what I can do here is I can highlight this and I can go down here and I can see I can adjust my fill, which is, let's say I want to make this red. Okay. And then my stroke, let's say I want to make this white. Okay. And then I'm going to click OK, adjust my stroke size like that. And I can also adjust the size of my font like this to be bigger. Okay. So you can do all kinds of adjustments like right here in Photoshop, right there. You can adjust that in Photoshop, just like Photoshop. You can adjust the size, you can adjust the font. Let's say I want to change the font to like that, right? You can adjust your fonts and then you can hide these layers right here. So like this, see I'm hiding the layer, all right? You can do all kinds of stuff like that. And then you can adjust this to make it longer and shorter too. See, or I can make it longer like this, where it ends in the middle of this clip right here. All right, so that is how you add a title in the beginning. And then I want to add a title at the end. Let's say I pick a different title. Let's say I want this one. Okay, I'm just going to click and drag it and put it right here. All right, so I'll double click again on here. Boom, boom. Again, yours should pop up like right here. I don't know why mine doesn't, but maybe it's because it's a smaller screen. So I can go and adjust the box. See this box right here? That's the shape. I don't want to see that box. All right. And I don't want to see the word episode either. So I'll take that one out. And I'll double click on the your title part and I'll put the end. The end. And then I will go and highlight this. And I can change this to like a different color. Actually, I want a different stroke color. Let's say I want this stroke color to be green instead. All right, just to make it look interesting. And then I want like a box around it, like a shadow. Okay. All right. And I want there, like a shadow like that. I can adjust this. All right. I want background as well. I could change my background color to like yellow or something like that. Okay. So there's my, I want this to be more rectangular and then around the corners a little bit like that. Okay. So I can adjust all this and then look up here. This is basically Photoshop on the side. Boom. And then I have my video. All right, I don't want that at the end. Like I want that at the end like this. So want to let that video end. And then I'll drag this song to be a little bit longer. Make sure I do my, fading in and out. And then, all right, that's a little bit too long. I'll make it a little bit shorter. So I'm just trimming here. All right. And then that's what I want. Okay. So at the end of your editing, this is what I want to see. I want to be able to see an opening title that you get points for that. I want to see one clip where it's underexposed on purpose. I want to see another clip where it's overexposed on purpose. I might even mess this up some more, like make it all weird colors and stuff in the color panel. So let's say I want this to be like extra blue. Okay. I'm going to click on this clip right here and I'm going to make this extra blue like that. I can do that. Okay. I just need to see that it's overexposed. And then the last thing I want to see is ending title. There. Once you have that, you go to File, go to Save As. Okay. And then you're going to go here and name it the project that we just edited right there. Premiere Pro Workspaces. I'll copy that. Right click, copy, and then I'm going to go to Premiere Pro and I'm going to go to my desktop, photo, video 1, 2, Premiere Pro. I'll change this from save as to, I'll do right click, paste. That's what I want to save this project as Premiere Pro Workspaces. So I can go back to it and mess around with it later if I need to. Click Save. And then you can go to File, go to Export because I'm done editing, go to Media. And then I'm going to change this name as well. So I click on here and I'm going to make sure I go to Desktop, Photo, Video 1, 2, Premiere Pro. And then I'm going to name this one Save As, highlight. I want to save this file as paste, Premiere Pro Workspaces, and then I'm going to click Save. And then, see how this name changed automatically? After I give it a place to live, where I'm going to export this to, the folder I'm going to export this to, I'll click on here. The preset will be preset, go to more, type in YouTube, and then you're going to choose 1080p, click OK, and then the format is H.264. Once you have these things set and named correctly, click export. And then this is going to export to the folder, the Premiere Pro folder, which is right here. That's the file that I just finished editing. So I use whatever I had before and I edit in new stuff. Again, I want to see, double check to make sure you have an opening title. One clip is underexposed on purpose. Another clip is overexposed on purpose. And then an end title like that. And then you will get full credit. Okay? All right. I say goodbye. Rock, paper, peace.